Hello and welcome to the channel. Gav Axeman Spins on a very nice sunny morning in the UK, start of April, and we are just over a week away for ROM Record Store Day 2025. So I thought I'd have a little look at some of the stuff that's out, see what caught my eye as such, and see what I would be interested in if I was able to attend, because for the first time since I think the very first one, I'm going to miss Record Store Day because I won't be here. I will be, along with a couple of other vinyl community YouTubers, in Den Bosch at the mega record fair. Now, I suspect there will be Record Store Day titles available at the mega record fair, but personally I don't really feel like that would be the best use of my time and effort to get there, to go and buy stuff that I could have picked up from my local shop down the road. So so I'm slightly sad I'm not going to be able to support my local, which is Vinyl and Vintage in Wolverhampton, that have looked after me for many years on Record Store Day, but it's nice to do something totally different. So what I thought I'd do, I kind of went through the list like everyone does when it first came out, you know, and there's hundreds on there, isn't there? And I jotted down what kind of took my eye, and I think I had about 16 to start with. So I then whittled that down to 10. So I'll show you 10 records and preview 10 records that are coming out that would be of interest to me. But I think in terms of when I've looked at it again of stuff I actually want, that 10 would probably drop to 5, and then there'd be one other thing that I'd be interested in, mainly for completism. So without further ado, let's have a look at what's coming out. So I'll put some pictures there of stuff, of the images that I've been able to get of the preview stuff, and I'll take it from there. And then if I've got something that's relevant to what's coming out, I'll hold that record up. So to start with, the release that I was most excited about was the Suede Sci-Fi Lullabies Volume 2. So for those that don't follow Suede, this is Volume 1, which got its own Record Store Day reissue a few years back, and Suede's catalogue gets reissued on a very regular basis. Now, the reason this is exciting is that Volume 1 is probably the best B-sides collection of all time. So it's a triple vinyl, double CD back in the day. But for those that don't follow Suede, a lot of their best material, particularly in those first 3 albums, was tucked away on this. So what they're doing is they're doing a Volume 2, which will be a double album with artwork that matches this, which is quite a nice touch, of the B-sides that came out after this was issued, up to date. And I think there's like an unreleased track on there as well. For those that can't manage to get one of these on Record Store Day, I wouldn't worry, because Suede's catalogue is reissued time and time again. There is going to be a CD reissue of this, which will contain the Volume 2 as a third bonus disc, so that's already been announced, and I'm pretty sure they'll do like a black vinyl kind of reissue of the Record Store Day clear vinyl. So it's on Demon Records, and they reissue stuff over and over again, so don't despair. But musically, that's probably my thing that I would be most looking forward to queuing up at 4 AM or whatever time I did last time to get. So big release that from Suede. I suspect the most popular release will be the next one I'll show you. So it is less than 100 days now till the first reunion concert. I'm talking about the Gallagher Brothers and Oasis. So they are reissuing this singles box set called Time Flies, and it's going to be a 4-album box set. But I suspect, and having looked at some of the pictures, and I've seen a few record shops starting to kind of do sneaky peeks, it won't be in a box like this. It will be in a slipcase, a bit like the Definitely Maybe reissue they did last year. And it'll be like the 4 albums in a slipcase, I think, rather than a big box. So also the cover artwork has been changed to match the CD cover of this, so it'll be like the normal black and white, the normal colour photograph rather than this blue tinted one. So for those like me that have got the originals, these I think are still going to be the superior version, but they, to keep the price down, they've kind of changed the packaging. But 15,000 copies, 4 different bits of coloured vinyl. Time flies, the complete singles collection as was, which is coming out. Price wise, I've had a bit of info from one of my local shops. The Oasis album they think is going to retail, get ready for it, £95 in the UK. The Suede one, £36. So yeah, so a double album 36, quadruple album 95. So that's that. Sticking with Oasis, Liam Gallagher's doing a 8-track acoustic sessions album. Can't show you that, but it's I think all from this era. That is quite interesting. That's the first time on vinyl, only been like a streaming kind of thing. That's probably worth having a look at. 23 quid I think is the kind of indications that it's like a coloured vinyl-y, splattery vinyl-y type of thing. Looks quite nice actually, so that's probably one of the better things on the list. Now, big one, fans of U2, there's only one studio album that they've neglected to reissue, and it's the one that came between Zooropa and Pop. It was released under the badge of Passengers, and that is finally getting a vinyl reissue, double album. Quite expensive, there's a shock. 45 quid I think is what you're going to be looking at for that, but originals go for hundreds. I think I've only ever seen one once on eBay, and it went far above what I was willing to pay. I have mixed feelings about this album. Some people love it. I think it's a bit indulgent personally. There is stuff on it that's worth having rather. Miss Sarajevo and Your Blue Room, couple of really nice tracks, but the rest of it's pretty forgettable in my opinion. But maybe I do need to listen to it again. But my U2 vinyl collection has a big hole in it, and that will be one filling, so that would probably be something that I would be interested in. Let's go back to the late 80s, a band that called all of their first albums by the same title. So it's the House of Love's self-titled import album called and has forever more been dubbed the German album, because it was only released in Germany. 8 tracks. It's got the original version of Shine On, which wasn't on the Creation debut album, The Hedonists, Real Animal, all the B-sides and that. So that's coming out on coloured vinyl. I've already got an original, so I'm happy with my original, but I think they're talking about 27 quid for that. But that would be that one. If you're fans, sticking with kind of late 80s, early 90s, you're a fan of the band The Charlatans, this album's getting a reissue on coloured vinyl with some bonus tracks. I've got a double album. This was a reissue as well, so I'm quite happy with this one. Very good album though. I particularly like the song A Man Needs to Be Told. It's a great song. You're So Pretty, We're So Pretty, Love Is the Key. Good album. So the Charlatans are carrying on reissuing their catalogue, and I think price wise that might be about 30 quid, something like that. Should we go back and look at some goth stuff? Oh, so this is a strange one. So the Mission are releasing their first album after they kind of split from Phonogram and ended up on kind of an indie label, again on Demon Records. So a coloured vinyl version of this one called Neverland. That's going to be about £36. I've got an original. I was lucky enough to find one. Cost me about 20 quid back in the day. So from 1995. Not a bad album this actually, but yeah. So if you're missing this, Mission fans, I think the one after it's called Blue. They're both quite hard to find on the originals. So that's finally getting a reissue. Now, one I was very excited about, so I can't show you anything, but a band I love called The Coal are doing a B-Sides Volume 1 album. I think it's a double at £36, and it's all the B-sides and stuff from their first 2 albums, so it will include a lot of stuff from these wonderful EPs, which I've still got on CD, like Shadows Fall, the Oldest Path EP, Skeleton Key EP, and a load of others. So that'd be quite nice, because there's a good little B-sides band, The Coal, and so it'd be nice to have those in one place. Here's an interesting one. I ummed and ahed about this. So a debut album that originally came out when 10 inches were all the fashion, and it's by Kasabian. This is a glow-in-the-darky one. Obviously, I can't show you that. I absolutely hate 10 inches, and therefore I rarely ever listen to this. I've got the CD. I've got to be honest, I can't tell you the last time I really played anything by Kasabian, so I'll probably pass on the reissue. But there's a white vinyl, 12-inch vinyl of this, and it is a really good album, to be fair, and I think that's going to cost you there about 40 quid, so not one for me, but I know a lot of other people will. I feel like I should turn the lights off now and show this one by the air. So that glows in the dark. There you go. Well, those useless bits of stuff. What else can I show you? So getting towards the end now. So Blur, sticking with kind of Britpoppy stuff, are doing a new version of the Magic Whip on that rubbish Zoetrope kind of picture disky stuff. So that's the Record Store Day version. If you really want to get this album again, I would go to the band's website, because there's actually going to be an anniversary edition, which is different to the Record Store Day version, which is, in my opinion, much nicer. I'm not going to bother, because to be honest with you, I think this is, packaging aside, the weakest of all the Blur albums. I'm not a massive fan of this. I was quite disappointed with this, but it is getting a reissue, and will probably set you around the £30 mark. And then last but not least, something that I am kind of interested in, the Verve, Richard Ashcroft is supporting Oasis obviously in the summer, are reissuing for the first time on since 1992. I think it got a very limited issue, only in America, and it was a live album recorded before their debut album, Storm in Heaven, came out. So for those that are fans of the more kind of floaty, spacey, shoegazy version of the Verve, that's quite an interesting thing. So and completely unreleased. They did the B-sides album last Record Store Day, which I really enjoyed, so that one would be something I'd be interested in. So that was 10 or 11 things there from my point of view. If I do try and track things down after Den Bosch, there's only really the 5 that for me are kind of on the top of the tree. So that would be the Coral B-sides album, because it's new. The Liam Gallagher acoustic sessions, again, that's not available anywhere else. The Passengers vinyl, expensive though it is, it will complete my U2 vinyl collection, so I'm quite pleased to get that. The Suede one is probably the one I was really looking forward to, so hopefully I'll get a copy of that. And then, as I've just mentioned, the Verve. The only other thing I haven't mentioned is the obligatory David Bowie release. There is a live album, live at the Riverside. It was an internet concert promoting the Reality concert. Reality album and concerts that there. There is already a live album of that show, but this is like something different. So if I spotted the CD, I'd probably get that, because I've got all the Bowie stuff. But it's probably the least interesting of the Bowie releases of recent years. But that's it. So let me know what you're planning on getting, what your thoughts are on Record Store Day in general. I think personally, I think anything that encourages people to talk about buying music and physical music is a good thing. My only kind of concern is a lot of the releases are picture discs, Zoetrope picture discs, stuff that's maybe been reissued several times already. I personally would hope that they try and be a bit more, curating friendly, in terms of a lot of 60s and 70s stuff. They don't really go to town on some of those obscure kind of psych albums and stuff like that. It'd be nice if they could have a go at digging out some of those kind of gems that are really, really expensive to buy on original vinyl. It'd be nice to have a few more of those rather than the more gimmicky stuff. But it's a good thing. Sorry I can't be there, but I will be in the Den Bosch with a couple of others, and obviously stand by for some videos on that. Quick thank you to anyone that is liking, subscribing, leaving comments. Much appreciated. The channel's still within its first year, so it's still fairly new. And yeah, delighted with how things are going. But if you've made it through 14 minutes and 25 seconds of this, if you haven't already done so, please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. Don't forget to hit the notification bells, because then you know when a new video is around. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.